Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I have a Bible journaling process for you guys. And I wanted to real quick hop on and just kind of talk about the verse and the products I pulled and that kind of thing before I put you on fast forward and put this together. And so I don't know about you, but this time of year can be super hectic, crazy, and I can get so swept up in all of the fun things like printed coffee cups and December daily projects and all the ornaments and decorations and gifts and all that craziness. But my intention for this year is to really try to put my focus on Jesus in everything that I do through this holiday season. And so as a part of that, I have been trying to sit down and spend some time journaling specific prayers to kind of help me work through that and to have prayers and verses at the front of my mind during the season. And so one of those here is Psalm chapter 5, verse 3. It says, "In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I plead my case to you and watch expectantly." And so I like that phrase, in the morning when I rise, give me Jesus. That's from a song. And so I know we see a lot of those little phrases like, give me Jesus and coffee, or I love Jesus and coffee. And so I kind of wanted to pull all that together, found a verse that would work with that. And so I just want to be intentional every morning to start my day with prayers of praise and thanksgiving, and also bring my request to God each morning and just set out the day with that being at the forefront of my mind. And so I thought it'd be fun to kind of use some holiday themed products for this page. And so what I did is I pulled out some of the papers from the Holly kit this month. If they're still available, I'll link everything that I can down below for you guys. And I used my Silhouette Studio program and my Silhouette Cameo cut machine to cut out some shapes to create a coffee cup. This file is from Silhouette Studio. I'll try to put that down below for you guys, but you could very easily just sketch this out on some papers and hand cut it out. And so I thought that would be kind of fun to have in there. And then while I was putting that together, I took a browse through the Felicity Jane cut files, and there's this cut file that has these 3 different snowflakes. And so I just pulled the one that's a little bit simpler of a design and sized it in a whole bunch of different sizes and cut it out of some gold paper that I had in my stash. And then when I sat down on my desk, I realized it's very similar to the snowflake confetti that is in the Holly kit this month. So I'll kind of mix and match those together, and that'll work really well. It's even kind of the same tone paper and everything, so that really worked out. And so I thought it'd be fun to kind of have little splashes of that. Pulled out a little die cut piece from the Holly die cuts, and then I just have kind of a mishmash of things that I thought I might use. A lot of it is products from Holly this month, but then I also pulled out the Joy foam alphabets from last year, and I'm going to use that to create my title, and I'm going to leave myself plenty of room to journal out a prayer. So you could adapt this to not be holiday themed. You could use other things from your stash, other past kits, things like that, but I just wanted this to be kind of an important prayer and verse to keep in mind as I head through this holiday time. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward while I put this together, and we'll kind of talk about how it comes together.
Okay, so I'm going to start by putting together the little coffee cup, and before I assemble everything, I'm going in with a pen and just adding this like sketchy line detail just to the inside edge of all the pieces. And this, as well as like adding stitching detail, is a way to really dress up your cut files and, I don't know, just make them look like they are, I don't know, just that you spent a little bit more time on them, a little more finished, I guess, and it just adds some contrast in between the different patterns as well. So I went ahead and did that to everything, including that little heart. And then I like to adhere something like this down with liquid adhesive. That way it gives me some wiggle room to kind of move the pieces and make sure that they are perfectly positioned where they need to be. And I'm sticking this little sleeve piece up a little bit on the cup. That way it kind of sticks out over the edges, if that makes sense. So it looks like it's wrapping around the cup. And again, using that liquid adhesive. I love, love, love that pattern paper. It really reminds me of one of the Starbucks cups this year. And so I'm trying not to hoard that paper. I'm trying to be good about using it, and it kind of worked perfect for a piece like this. So I'm trying to find something to kind of add to this sleeve as well. So like I said, this die cut is from the Holly die cuts. And then I've pulled out the epoxy stickers, and there's this little green snowflake. So I'm going to add that just to add some more dimension and interest and texture to this piece. And I don't want my coffee cup just floating on the page, so I'm going to add some washi tape down at the bottom here. This is grid washi from Felicity Jane, one of my favorites. I know a lot of you ask me about this. I have 2 rolls of it because I don't ever want to run out. And I'm going to layer that with the tree washi from the Holly kit this month. And the nice thing about working in Psalms is you have tons. I have almost 6 inches of room in the margin of this Bible. So I can really use big elements and really take up a lot of space and still have room for my journaling. So you can see I'm kind of just laying out these snowflakes, and I'm trying to keep in mind where I want my title and where I want my journaling. So before I stick everything down, I'm trying to visualize what that's going to look like. That way I don't run into any problems later on when I try to add those elements. So the nice thing about this particular paper, it was just from a cheapy paper pad. It's really thin, and so it was easy to add stickers and things over the top of it. And then I'm just adhering it down using my roller adhesive. It probably would have been better to use liquid adhesive, but that would be really detailed and take a lot of time with pieces like this. I guess ideally you could maybe add some double-sided adhesive to the paper before you cut it out with your silhouette, and that would work as well. So you can see I've stuck those down, and now I've sped this up quite a bit. That way you don't have to see me fussing with the stickers, because I pull out a bunch of different alphabet stickers and mix and match to make my title. And I love the look of titles when they use a whole bunch of different, styles and sizes and colors of stickers. And I did pull out these silver glitter ones. I know it's a mixture of silver and gold on this page, but I like to do that. It doesn't bother me to mix gold and silver. So you can see I've got that all sped up and done. It says, "In the morning, give me Jesus and coffee." It's a little bit hard to read right now, but we'll come back in and fix that. So at this point, I had some really awkward kind of blank spaces with the way that my title worked out. So I'm coming in with these snowflake confettis from this month's kit and just kind of adding those in to places to fill in areas. And you can see they really perfectly match that cut file and even that paper that I used. So that really worked out perfect. I wasn't really sure how I was going to use these confettis. There's so much in this little container. And so this will be a fun little detail to add to a lot of my projects this month. So at this point, I'm keeping myself that room off to the left for my journaling. But I'm going to go in with a fine tipped pen, the same pen I did the detail to the coffee cup with, and just adding some sketchy lines around those glittered alphas. I don't care that it's messy and imperfect, but this just gives some definition to those stickers, especially the word coffee on that printed paper. It just kind of helps tie them in with those black stickers and helps give the definition so that you can tell what the words are. In person, it's a lot easier to see. On camera, it makes it a little bit more difficult. I pulled out the stamp set. I really wanted to include some stamping. So there's this piece that says, I believe it says "the most wonderful time of year." Just this really thin sentiment stamp. And so I'm going to stamp that over the top of the washi. I don't know, just at this point, I'm just adding little finishing details. I'm making sure that it's straight. It's kind of difficult with the thin, long sentiment like that, so I'm just using the grid on my block to get that nice and lined up. And then I put a block underneath the page just to give myself a really hard surface. This is a very detailed stamp, so I want to make sure that the impression is good. And I am using an archival ink. Since I'm stamping over the top of washi tape, I don't want to use something like a pigment ink, or it won't ever dry on top of washi tape. So you do want to use something like Stays On or archival ink. And you can see you just get this really nice impression down below there. I went ahead and bracketed the verse, and then now I'm giving myself some journaling lines just using a T-ruler and sketching those in. Left myself plenty of room to really write in a detailed prayer as I head into this season, and just want to stay focused on meeting God every morning before I start my day. So I'm just writing that in. I don't care that my handwriting is super messy. That's okay. It's mine. It is what it is. Adding a couple more lines in there just to finish it out. And I do decide to come back in and add a tab to this page. I love having all of that fluff and tabs and tags and things sticking out of the top of my Bible. So I'm using a tab punch to tabs or to punch some more of this pattern paper, I just can't get enough of it. And I pulled out the holly word stickers, and I'm trying to look and see if there's something that'll work to add to this tab. And there is a piece that says remember this. So I do kind of cut it apart so it'll fit on that tab. You could add a date, you could add the book of the Bible, you know, whatever you want for your tabs. It's not really to mark that there's an entry there, but also just, you know, I don't know. I just like the look of all those tabs and things at the top. And it's just a visual, you know, way to look and see how much time I've spent in my Bible and all the entries I've done in here. So I'm just anchoring that down with some washi tape. Some more of that grid washi tape, and then off camera I do go ahead and add a date stamp down to the bottom, and that is it for the entry today. So if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. Check out the description box for links to everything that I used today. A lot of holly is sold out, but there is still some available, so go check that out over at Felicity Jane. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Check out the blog post for more up close photos, and until next time, thank you so much. Bye bye.